Hello, my name is Kayleen Reusser. Welcome to another episode in my series of stories of World War II veterans. And these are taken from my books in my World War II Legacies series. Today's story is taken from book 2 in that series. They Did It for Honor, Stories of American World War II Veterans. Today's story is about Alfred Edwards. And by the way, all of the stories that I read are stories from people I have interviewed. On June 6 of 1944, Alfred Edwards of Fort Wayne, Indiana, was operating a rhino barge. Such vessels carried tanks and troops as part of the first wave of troops to approach the shore of Omaha Beach in France. We had no protection from enemy fire as we guided it in, he said. When boats and troops reached the shore and put ramps down, the sight was grim. Dead GIs lay everywhere on the beach, said Edwards. We dodged shooting from German soldiers while searching for mines embedded in the sand that could blow us up as we neared the shore. Despite incredible odds, Allied forces, which continued to arrive at the beach for weeks, slowly pushed German forces back into France. Code name of the secret invasion? Operation Overlord, though it was more commonly known as D-Day. After the Normandy beaches had been secured, Edwards became part of the Red Ball Express, a convoy of trucks that quickly delivered supplies for Allied forces along a closed route through Europe. The naming was simple. Our trucks were identified with big red balls on their side, he said. The idea of fighting to defend one's country had been present in the Edwards home all through his childhood. We were a patriotic family, he said. My father, Albert William Edwards, fought in the British Army during World War I. He later emigrated to America, where he worked as a printer. He taught my two brothers and me to respect our new country. Dad reminded us that America had been good to us, and we should be thankful to be born here. Alfred's twin brother, William, and a younger brother also served during the war. After completing Seabee training at Camp Perry in Virginia, Alfred was sent to Rhode Island as part of the 111th Naval Construction Battalion. Our instructors taught us how to use bulldozers and road equipment to build roads and runways, he said. When Edwards and thousands of other sailors sailed across the Atlantic to England in spring of 1944, they were not told what their mission would be. Upon landing on June 4th, they were ordered to practice maneuvers with 5,000 ships in the English Channel. We didn't learn that a major invasion was planned at Normandy until June 5th, he said. The mission was top secret. The mission, called Operation Overlord, began the next day. After several weeks of intense fighting and heavy losses, Allied forces finally gained a foothold into France. For a year, they continued to gain ground against German forces, as did Allied forces in the Pacific. In May of 1945, Germany finally surrendered, but Japan refused to admit defeat. With efforts focused in the Pacific, Edwards was sent with his battalion to that area. For 2 months, the Seabees joined with Australian forces invading the island of Borneo. We were the only Seabee battalion to serve in both the Pacific and European theaters during World War II, he said. The possibility of dying or being maimed or tortured never left him. I was afraid to sleep because I knew the Japanese fought to die, he said. We fought to live. Once an Allied victory was ensured, the Seabees set up a makeshift camp in the Philippines. We were told to practice for a planned invasion of Japan, he said. By that time, Edwards was tired, discouraged, and lacked optimism about the outcome of the proposed invasion. Although he had escaped injury so far, In letters he wrote to his mother, he penned, "I hope my luck holds out in that invasion." He was right to be discouraged, as the anticipated deaths was thought to be 1,000,000. The bombing of the Japanese cities of Nagasaki and Hiroshima in early August caused the surrender of the Japanese emperor. "I think all of the Allied troops around the world were immensely relieved," he said. Boatswain's Mate Second Class Edwards was discharged on December 1945. At that rank he had earned $114 a month. His two brothers survived the war as well. Al Edwards re-enlisted by joining the Naval Reserves, while also working as an engineer at General Electric in Fort Wayne. He married and became a parent to one daughter. For many years, Edwards attended military reunions and volunteered as a guide at the National Military History Center in Auburn, Indiana, which is now closed. "I don't believe anyone ever wanted to go to war," he said, "but I felt lucky to serve my country during its time of need, and I would do it again. God bless America." And that's my story of Al Edwards from my book, They Did It for Honor, Stories of American World War II Veterans. I hope that you'll subscribe to this channel. Stay tuned. Next week I'll have another story that is from one of the vets I have interviewed, and I hope that you will tell others about this. Thanks to all the veterans watching for your service. We would not be free without you.